Welcome to the Dr. Sal Adoni Show. Fans of Dr. Sal Adoni call him the great genius, a figure that Nostradamus wrote about. His theories in math and astrophysics are used by government agencies. His theory E has proven Newton and Einstein are wrong. His prime algorithm is used by the NSA. His planetary distance formula is used by NASA to find new planets. His EOE theory is used by the USGS in earthquake prediction modeling. He founded two different think tanks, including Helix Q, the artificial intelligence think tank. Dr. Adoni is the founder of the cryptocurrency BizBytes. Dr. Adoni is also the founder of the One Media Network. One Media produces dozens of podcast shows for the iPodcast network.
This is Dr. Saul Adoni. Welcome to another segment of the Dr. Saul Adoni Show. You can find more segments at sauladoni.com and ipodcast.org. Sauladoni.com is SOLADONI.com. This is Dr. Saul Adoni. This is my main site, sauladoni.com. That's SOLADONI.com. Go there. There's latest videos about the coronavirus, my books, written over 100 books, past 25 years. I'm also very famous as Solog. That's my religious name. So you hear the prophecies of Solog. You can go to solog.com, SOLLOG.com. You'll see 25 years ago I gave a warning that in the year 2020 it would be the start of biowarfare, and we're seeing it right now. Coronavirus is a biological weapon, was released in Wuhan where it was made. Wuhan has the only level 4 biolab in China. That's why the density there was so hot. Now, I've been talking about the safe zones for 25 years. My organization is Temple of Haya, known as TOE. You can go to templehayah.org. That's Temple, T-E-M-P-L-E, and then Haya, H-A-Y-A-H.org. When Moses asked God what was his name, he said Haya. Haya is Shir Haya. Haya is Haya. Incorrectly translated as I am that I am. Anyway, here you'll see information about the plague and safe zones. You click on safe zones, and people, for 25 years I've been telling people, you got to go to the safe zones. You want to donate to help spread this warning, there's all kinds of donation buttons there. You can donate. If you go to my Solog site, you can see the safe zone information is in there. Okay, so you load safe zones. Right there underneath Solog, you go to safe zones, and you'll see the map of the world. So for 25 years, I've been talking about this, people. Northern Canada, the mountains of South America, mountains of North China. These are the remote areas where humanity that doesn't want to be touched by these viruses should be going. So 25 years ago, 1995, I warned of several things. Said biological warfare was coming in the year 2020, be in the safe zones. Warned about nuclear terrorism, great quakes. We've had a 100% increase in quakes since the year 2000 and 7.0. Great hurricanes. We've had a huge increase in great hurricanes since I released this warning. Now we're at the biological warfare stage and expecting nuclear terrorism to manifest. Also spoke about an asteroid strike after 2022 for 2023. Last year I changed that after 25 years, saying that Greys were being allowed to interfere and stop the asteroid strike. The reason the tsunamis would create hundreds of Fukushima events all over the world, from the tsunamis on either ocean that would be caused by an asteroid strike. So that's been diverted, but we still have this terrible biological warfare going on. So get to the safe zones, go to Temple Haya, donate, go to my sites, get my books, my prophecies. I've written over 100 books. Okay. Now, this is how you go and see the huge increase in cases outside of China. So right now, it looks like everything's contained because China a month ago, in here, when you only had 26 deaths a day happening when it was 25%, they shut down China. 500 million people went into quarantine a month ago. That's why this went from 25% down to 1%. So if we continued on 1% for the world, that would be great. The problem is the rest of the world isn't quarantining. So this is how it's spreading right now. Yesterday, we were down to 43 deaths outside of China. This is today's stats as of the 27th of February. This morning, these numbers were only 53. So this video is based on there being only 10 more deaths than yesterday. Yesterday, we had 43 here. Well, since this morning, when I last checked, when it was up to 53, we're now up to 70 outside of China. So the numbers I'm going to give you is based on it only increasing 10 today. Well, the reality is it exploded from 43 to 70. So more than a 50% increase. And if you go back here to the beginning of the China event, you can see here, this is at the very beginning when it was exploding. 47%, 64%, 37, 43. Okay, so now it looked like we were going to be here, 25%. And at 25% exponential growth every day, you go from 53 to 6.5 billion in 90 days. Now that it's up here in the 50% range, people, there might be no one left in 45 days. This thing's in wildfire outside of China. Okay, so we're going to look at outside of China. China had all the deaths. Well, now all these areas are reporting deaths. Okay, it was 43 yesterday, people. It's now 70. That's a huge increase. Iran, 26 deaths. Italy, 17 deaths. South Korea, 13 deaths. Japan, 8 deaths. And then you have the little ones just starting to go here. United States hasn't reported any deaths yet. Well, that's going to change. You had the Super Bowl in South Florida a few weeks ago. There's a ton of the virus in South Florida. You have the cruise ships all based out of South Florida. So South Florida is going to be heavily hit. People, this is no joke. If we look at a spreadsheet, this is how you do the math. If you put in up here 53 deaths. Now that number is now 70 today. So this is when I did it earlier today before I did the video. 53 times 1.23, that's 23%. Exponentially increased for 10 days. 10 days, we're going to have 420. Well, forget about it. It's going to be much higher in 10 days. We're already now up to 70 today, when it was 53 this morning. So again, using 53, okay, if it's increasing 40% unchecked because no one's in quarantines, we don't have much time, people. Anyway, let's look at the math for just 10 days at 23%. 420 people dead, 10 days. So that's going to be March 8th, at least 420 dead. It's probably going to be 1,000 or more. 30 days from now, we're talking about 26,000 if we just keep it at 23%. And remember, people, China only started going down because they put 500 million people in quarantine. Iran has said they will not quarantine anybody. It's Allah's will. Allah's will. So Iran's going to be wiped off the map with this virus. And people, it's killing, in other areas. When you look at the deaths to the recovered, It's like for every death, only 2 people recovered. It's like 35% kill ratios. So this thing is huge, people. It's an extinction level event that you're witnessing. It's biological warfare, probably created by China in Wuhan. They released it on themselves, probably accidentally. They quarantined 500 million people immediately because they knew what it was. And the rest of the world has no clue, man. This is biowarfare. China's going to wipe out the planet. Now, in 60 days, using this formula at only 23%, you're up to 131 million people or dead people in 60 days. That's at 23%. It might be double that. Might be 40%, 50% a day growth. Then you have over here 6.5 million people in 90 days. So just starting at 53, and it's already 70, and it's about 50% instead of 23% growth. You go 53 at 23% for 90 days. You're at 6.5 billion people and 90 people. That's the population outside of China. It's wiped out in 90 days. Maybe half that time. So this is what the government and the media isn't telling you, people. This is an extinction level event. You're going to see huge growths every day. It's going to be just like the early days of the China increase, when we were seeing exponential growth in China before they locked down everybody. So here's the end of January when they started locking down people. It went from 43 to 33 to 27. Then it stayed in the teens, and then it was in single digits, and now it's down to 1%. Yeah, if these numbers are true out of China, China is now contained. What about the rest of the world? Look, Iran, 26 dead now. It was half of that yesterday. Italy, 17 dead. It was half of that yesterday. South Korea, 13 dead. Japan, 8 dead. These numbers were nothing a couple days ago. Yesterday it was 43. This morning it was 53. Now this afternoon it's 70. People, this is very serious because this is the same type of growth we had in China. So now multiply China by a whole bunch of other countries. Yes, China has a huge population, but the rest of the world is, bigger than China. 6.5 billion people compared to 1.5 billion in China, 8 billion people on the planet. And this thing is now spreading as wildfire. Why do you think the Dow Jones dropped 10% in 3 days? 10% of the world's wealth in stocks gone in 3 days. Forget about the stock market. It's a crash like you've never seen before is coming. People, this is very serious. Go to salag.com, look at the safe zones. Go to templehaya.org. We need to get these safe zones going. Okay? So, I don't know what percentage of humanity will be left after this craziness happens in the next few months, but the safe zones are the future. So go there. Let's set up these safe zones. I need your help to help me get this going. Again, I've been warning for 25 years, since 1995. You can look online and see an old Usenet timestamp post. There's crazy Salag saying 2020, I've seen it. Biowarfare is coming. Well, guess what, people? It's 2020 and I was right. So I'm vindicated. I'm what they call in the old days a prophet, a seer. I do astral traveling meditation, and I saw clear events that I warned of, and now it's coming to fruition. You can Google me and see there's thousands and thousands of pages around. Go look up my books on Amazon and eBay and, all the other places, okay? So people, even though it's contained in China, the rest of the world is now on fire. 40% increase every day in deaths. We don't have much time, people. get your food, get your water, stay in your house, keep your kids out of school, and let's get through this thing. Have a great day. To listen to more podcasts from Dr. Saul Adoni, you can visit sauladoni.com or ipodcast.org.